everyone, welcome back to the Day 20 Speaking English Daily until I get fluent. So as we all know that I started a series yesterday of being financially literate. We are learning financial education, something which we never get to learn in the schools or college, right? So I'm also learning just like you, as I already mentioned in the yesterday video. So yesterday we discussed the topic income, and we went into detail like from starting what is income to the like what are the types of the income, and then like we discussed in detail that particular word income, right? And we are going to do that every single day. I will choose one particular statement, and then we will try to go into the deep into that, right? And after a certain period of time we will become very good at the financial education, right? So as I already told yesterday that today I will talk about budgeting, right? So today we are going to discuss budgeting, in a detailed way possible, right? And I will try to share it into the most interesting way possible. So let's get started. Budgeting sounds boring, but I promise it's the one habit that will decide whether you struggle or sleep peacefully at night. Today we will build a budget together. By the end of this life, you will have a ready to use plan and a challenge to prove it works. Pause. Okay, who here has okay who here has made or who has ever tracked their expenses for a week? Type yes or no in the chat. I mean, okay. I mean, anyone who has tracked their expenses can like say that yeah, I have written that. I mean, I have tried to do budgeting in the past. So the first question rises is that what is budget? The simple definition of budget is a budget is a plan for where every rupee will go before you receive it. A budget is a plan for where every rupee will go. Okay, so basically this is budgeting is a plan that where where your every money will go before you receive it. It's not limit, but it's control. Without a budget, money leaks happen. Wasted subscription, impulse buys, impulse bias, and emotional spending. A budget is equal to clarity plus freedom. There are core terms of budgeting, right? The first is income, money, like whatever we receive by doing the job or by doing freelancing, whatever. So the first is income. The second is the expense, money out, fixed versus variable. Fixed means there are in the expense there are two kind of expenses. One is the fixed and one is the variable. Fixed means, for example, your rental income, rental like the rent that you pay, that is fixed, right? The subscription that you had, the tuition fee that you have to pay, that is all fixed. I mean, you have to pay every single month. But there is a variable, for example, food, transport, shopping. Variable that can be changed, right? That can be up or that can be like low up to the situation. So we have learned this in the math, right? There is a one thing is fixed called our, and one another thing is a variable. So the value of the variable can be changed. Second is a saving rate. Saving divided by income into 100. Okay, that is called the saving rate. Now, discretionary income. Income after essentials and savings. Buffer and emergency fund. Liquid money for surprises. Burn rate. Monthly spend. Useful to see how fast you use savings. Budgeting methods. Okay, the first method is 50-30-20 rule. 30%, 50% on the needs, 30% on the wants, and 20% save, invest. Example, if your pocket money is 10,000 rupees, needs 5,000 on the food, travel, college supplies, wants 3,000, hangouts, phone recharge, and save, invest for the 2,000. Use when you want a fast and balanced plan. Second way is of budgeting, zero based budget. Every rupee assigned. Every rupee of income gets a job. Spend, save, invest. Example, 10,000 rupees if you earn, rent 2,000, food 2,500 rupees, transport 500 rupees, SIP 1,000, emergency fund 1,000, entertainment 1,000, study 1,000, and then etc. 1,000. Use when you need a strict control on your variable income. Our variable income. Okay. What happened to this? Now the third step is envelope system. Allocate cash envelopes for our digital buckets for categories food, travel, fun. When envelope is empty, stop spending there. Use when you struggle with the impulse spending. Pay yourself first, priority to saving. Immediately move a fixed percent to savings. Investment when income arrives, then you use the rest for the expenses. Okay. Percentage based or goal based budgeting. Assign percentages to the goals. Debt, travel, education. Allocate according to the specific goals. Save 20,000 in 6 months. You have clear financial goals. Step by step to build a budget. The first step zero is basically prepare. Ask. Okay, that is great. Step 2, calculate monthly income. Include all the income sources. Example, student pocket money is equal to 4,000, freelance editing is equal to 6,000, YouTube is equal to 500. So total income is 10,500 rupees. I'm just taking an example, right? So the first step is basically to calculate monthly income. Second, list fixed expenses. Examples: college fee, installment, phone bill, subscription. Is like I'm taking a student example. So basically, college transport 1,200 rupees, phone recharge 300 rupees, Netflix, Spotify 200 rupees, tuition study materials 800 rupees. So total fixed is equal to 2,500 rupees. So basically, we first calculated all the incomes that we are getting, and then we calculated all the expenses that we spend every month. And then third, estimated variable expenses. Groceries, eating out, fuel, gifts, use previous month history or estimated. Food and mess 2,500 rupees, outings 1,000. Okay, so basically the first thing that we calculated is the income, ki how much actually we earn every single month, and then we calculated our like expense every single month, how much we expend, and that is in the terms of fixed, like that is going to happen, like having the expense every single month. For example, rental income or your expenses on the food, that is fixed, right? That will happen every single month. So, and then third, to calculate basically variable expenses that you don't know, that could be up, that could be below. Step 3, estimated variable expense. Okay, that is happened. Step 4, decide savings and investment. Pay yourself first. Start with the goal, save at least 20%. Income 10,500, 20% of the 10,500 is a 2,100. Place into SIP, savings emergency bucket. Step 5, step 5, emergency buffer. If you do not have 3 months of expenses, add a monthly emergency contribution 500 to 1,000 for the students. Step 6, reconcile and adjust. Okay. Step 5, simple budget real numeric series. Okay, we are going to basically take a real life example how we can make a budget, right? A student on the pocket money 5,000 rupees per month, needs 50% 2,500 rupees, wants 30% 1,500 rupees, and then savings 20% 1,000 rupees. Practical start SIP 500, keep 500 in the emergency jar. This is the A student. B student, student with the side income 15,000 per month. Fixed is equal to 4,000 rupees, rent and transport. Food is equal to 3,000 rupees, study is equal to 1,000 rupees, saving and investment is equal to 3,000 rupees, which is 20%. Freelance reinvestment tools is equal to 1,000 rupees. Wants is equal to 3,000 rupees. Use zero based to assign exact numbers. Okay. Tools and tracking. Simple spreadsheet columns: date, category, description, amount, type, fixed and variable, notes, running balance. Apps, any expenses tracker on the phone or Google Sheets plus mobile. You can, okay. Monthly review at the end, compare plan versus actual and tweak. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Not tracking small spends like tea recharge, they add up. Record every small expense for the 7 days. Underestimating variable costs. Budget leak, use last 3 months average. Lifestyle inflation, rise is equal to more expend. Increase savings percent whenever income grows. No emergency fund, forces debt, prioritize emergency fund before luxuries. Not Planning for irregular expenses. Create sinking funds, annual budgets, set aside small monthly amounts. Use credit to fund lifestyle. Only use credit for planned purchases and repay immediately. Advanced budgeting topics. Sinking funds. Save monthly for annual expenses. Gifts, travel. Want 12,000 for a travel in a 12 months. Save 1,000 per month. 50-30-20, which is cost term allocation. Adjust for the goals. Budget for irregular income. Use average monthly income over 6 months or split into the salary. Okay. Psychology, make budget stick. Automate savings, set SIPs and auto transfer to saving on payday. Make it painless. Start with the small targets. 1,100 rupees per day tracking. Gamify, weekly challenge. That is not important. So there are some important formulas that we can know. Saving rate is equal to monthly saving divided by the monthly income into the 100. Then we can calculate saving rates. And then emergency fund target, monthly burn rate into the 3 to whatever, basically how we can have a emergency fund. So basically we need to calculate our monthly expense and then need to multiply by 6 months, and then that is the amount that we should have for the emergency fund. Sinking fund monthly amount. Okay. If money had feelings, it would want a job. Give every rupee a job. Budget is not punishment, it's permission to spend guilt free. Track for 1 month. If you don't like how it feels, change it. Budgets are fixable. So what are the things we learned in today in the topic of budgeting basically? So the first thing that we learned, we need to calculate our total income, uh, like whatever income we have, and then we need to calculate all the expenses. And there are two kind of expenses. The first one is the fixed, for example, our rental, our like which are being expend on the food. So these are the fixed amount of which you will expend obviously every month. But there are some variables like where you don't know for any gifts or anything you went out for anything. So basically that is variable that can be that will be expend someday more and someday will be less. So basically the first thing to calculate all the income sources that you have, and calculate the exact amount, and then calculate all the expenses, the exact amount that you expend every single month. And then third, what was the third one? I forget. Okay. So basically, fixed where, okay. The fourth one was decide savings and investments. Okay, ki how much you want to basically save and do investment. That's great. So today basically we learn about budgeting, and that's was the topic of today, and we will keep doing this every single day, so that after a certain period of time we will have enough knowledge. At least we can make a wise decision, right? So we also need to apply. If I want to apply the, like there are two things we learned today. One is income and one is like budgeting. So if I need to apply in my life, how will I apply? The first thing I need to understand, there are two kind of incomes. The first one is active income and the second one is passive income. Active income, which is you work something. For example, if I go to the job, then if I will go to the job, then I will make money. But there is a passive income which you earn while you sleep as well, right? So the thing which I need to apply is that I need to work on the both the incomes. And the second thing is that basically budgeting. I mean, just earning money is not enough. You also need to budget it. I mean, you exactly should know that where I'm expending all the every single penny that I am earning, and you also exactly plan ki where I should expend, where should I not, because we have a lot of impulsive buyingness nature. So that was the two things which I need to apply. Okay, I'm gonna read book because one thing I was searching for the meaning of the life, and we are going to like see the perspective of the Naval Ravikant on the question of the meaning of the life. It's really abundant big question. What is the meaning and purpose of life? There's a big question because it's big question. I will give you three answers. The answer one, it's personal. You have to find your own meaning. Any piece of wisdom anybody else gives you, whether it's Buddha or me, it's going to sound like nonsense. Fundamentally, you have to find it for yourself. So the important part is not the answer, it's the question. You just have to sit there and dig with the question. It might take you years or decades. When you find an answer, you are happy with it. It will be fundamental to your life. Answer two, there is a no meaning to life. There is a no purpose to the life. Also said, it's like writing on the water or building houses on the sand. The reality is that you have been dead for the history of the universe, 10 billion years or more. You will be dead for the next 70 billion years or so until the heat death of the universe. Anything you do will fade. It will disappear just like the human race will disappear and the planet will disappear. Even the group who colonize Mars will disappear. No one is going to be remember you past a certain number of generations. Whether you are artist, poet, a conqueror, a pauper, or anyone else, there's no meaning. You have to create your own meaning, which is what it boils down to you. You have to decide, is this a play? I'm just watching. Okay, so that's all for today, and see you tomorrow.